There we go. Okay, that transition took a little longer than I thought. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is time to look at open or infinite rails. We now have a new update. This one's going to add a few things. Let's start a new world. The biggest one, we now have structures and commodities. We're going to call this streamer world. Just do that. Dive in and we'll get started. This is like the third time it started me on an island. I don't know why it keeps doing that. In any case, let's go to our handy dandy map, which is another new feature. Okay, why island? Are there even any buildings nearby? There do not appear to be any buildings nearby. We're gonna have to go look for a building. I mean, I'm sure this would be a fun map to build on if we actually knew where we were. I guess let's just see if we can go this way and try to find stuff. Fortunately, we can use our third player cam. And I guess we go that way. Maybe this way. We might have to start anew. If nothing else, I can show you the one I already had started. Now it should be that as you wander around, it generates industries for you to serve. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. Let's give it one more try, and if this doesn't work, I'll go just to the pre-made world I have. Maybe we should have done a different seed, too. Anything? No? Okay, well, I guess what we'll do in the absence of buildings is let's go back and try this again. Although I have to admit, this did look like it would be an interesting world to build on. We'll leave it blank. We want our generative structures on. And hopefully this time it actually works. Okay, hey, there we go. So if we open the map now, you can see we have a logging camp. We can buy logs from there at that price. Now the question is, do we have a sawmill nearby? Because we'll need one in order to sell those logs. We can also use a freight depot. The good news is that if we can't find anything, we can also just like build a place. Don't see one yet, but let's go hook up and then we'll see what happens. And of course they put it in the weirdest position they could. Yeah. They haven't done a very good job of showing you how these things spawn. But it looks like we'll be coming off this and probably going down the length of the lake and finding an outlet to the south. I do wish you could also like zoom out the map more. So how this works is you walk up to here and you use the scroll wheel to choose how much you want to buy. Now we're going to start with a train, so we'll just buy, and we start with some money. Let's just buy about that much to start. And you can see it has now spawned in that much. And if we now spawn in our flat car, this is the newer, smaller one. We can load things up by just clicking here, clicking on our car, and the crane will automatically come and pick it up and set it on the wagon. What you might notice is that for some reason when it picks it up, it flips it around and then puts it back. I'm not sure what's with that. All right, let's see if we can actually get some tracks down. We're probably going to need to bridge this for a bit. And yeah, I think we'll just come south and start seeing if we find anything. Again, as we explore the map, it should start populating with additional structures. Go into third person mode for this. Also note that we now have a compass as well, so we can see which way we're going. We'll use the M key to straighten things out. $200 meters at a time. And still no buildings. Don't know what's going on here. It seemed like in my other world they were generating all the time. That must be like a streamer curse thing. The game never works when you want it to. Let's see if we can head down to this lake, and if nothing else, we can just like plop one down. Blow through this mountain right now. Check the map again. Okay, we want to angle a little to the west. And then we'll just build something over here. Oh, we're going to have to drop down a bit for that. How about this? Let's put in the thing first. And because I like pain, we're going to do it like that. You'll notice it auto-generates 2 tracks. These 2 tracks are actually too close together for you to like actually use switches to get to them easily. It's kind of annoying. So we're just gonna do... Nope, that's... I guess I did want that too. But we're just gonna run point to point for this. There we go. And you can see at our sawmill, there's a price for selling our wood and for buying cut lumber. Now then, we just have to get all the way back to our other point. They have not added map teleporting yet. That would be a really nifty feature, actually. If anyone from Infinite Rails development team watches this stream, could we get that? That would be great. Now I have to wait for the map to catch up. Heh. Now, in the previous update for Infinite Rails, they also had passengers as a thing. And you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and keep doing that. Now, the passengers still, you have to place them yourself. So we'll just put down a platform here. And we'll put some people on it, and then we'll put another one at the other end. We can also drop down, of course, our engine and a coach. And if we go into the settings, there is somewhere auto connect air pipe, which we want. We're also going to have weather and time in this one. The last few times I've just kept it to daytime. So let's fire up and get rolling. Kick off the brakes. Go forward. It'll take a moment to get going. We once again scroll out, we see that. So now that we've got our cargo, let's head back and we'll pick up our passengers and then head to the other end. We are low on fuel. I forgot to grab more when we spawned in the engine. And we can set up a platform on the other end to drop these people off. So now we roll for a bit. Now, with the logging cargo, as far as I can tell, it doesn't really matter how far you take it. It does. I guess it seems like there's a bit of an incentive payment for taking it further. It's not entirely clear. That might just be legacy from previous builds and they forgot to get rid of it. But payment is generally based on how much you pay for the cargo and how much you can sell it for. And that price will fluctuate at random. The random part is a little bit annoying. I wish there was like some rhyme or reason to how much the price changed. For example, we purchased it at 226. It's now up to 232. So as long as we can sell it for more than that, we'll be fine. Also, take a look. The map has our wagons on it, which is really nice. That's something a lot of games don't have on their maps. You can see right now it's selling for 256. When I looked a second ago, it was 264. And I'm still trying to figure out why it hasn't spawned more industries. This is annoying. We might throw down an extra one in here somewhere, just for demonstration purposes. Either that or I'll take you over to my regular map once we've dropped this off, and you can see kind of the whole network idea. For now, we just rolling. I did not pick a very challenging route to get this built quickly. Guess we can set up our headlights as well. Which ones are these? We want rear white and front red? Yeah, front red. Jump back to the third person. Coming around, we are not going to need more power. But we're gonna run off the edge. Except we're not, because they haven't programmed derailments in yet. So now what we do is we hop off, and once again we just click our cargo, and we click the unloading dock, and the crane will come move it. And yeah, look in the upper right. I have in fact received a payment for moving it distance, but that's not the final payment. So we can sell this for $253, but if we wait, it might go up. It also might go down. We can also buy lumber to take to a freight depot. We haven't actually found a freight depot yet. Also, as of note, we can actually, like, destroy some of the stuff around here. Like, say I don't want to look at the sawdust pile. Boom, gone. Don't want this track here? It can be boom gone as well. Alright, so we're actually gonna, let's go ahead and buy some lumber. Oh, actually we can't, we can buy some lumber, yeah. How much can we buy? Watch, the price might change while I'm scrolling. By about that much. It might go down and then I'll regret it, but that seems like a decent price from what I've seen in my other save. While we're at it, I guess what we can do is build the platform here to offload passengers. And I'm not going to put a ton of effort into this. I'm actually not sure if it's going to mess with the crane. I don't think so. Let's see if we can wait for that sell price to go up a little bit. But in the meantime, we can load this to take back. And then we'll go cycle our passengers. I'm pretty sure you still... Well, I think you still make more money with passengers in this game than with freight. But the economy does mean that you have a chance to make more. So now we find the button for opening the doors. And then we open them again. Now before we go back, let's set over. That seems like a decent price, so we're going to sell all our wood. Actually, let's sell half of it now. Lock in that price. Okay, now it's gone up a little bit, so we'll sell the rest. And note that you also don't have to have all your wood in the same spot when you spawn, or when you buy it. You don't have to, like, haul it off immediately. We could have bought a ton of lumber, more than we can haul at this point, and then just come back for it later. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough money for that, but we are already ahead. We start off the game with 2,500. We can buy another engine in 9,000, and we can buy another flat wagon at 31,000. But until then, let's head off again. When we get to the other end, I will put down the other new structure, which is the freight depot. I do like the map is a great addition, in my opinion. You can actually see what you're doing. You can see where you're going, you're not just wandering around blind. I kind of want to open up one of my other saves and finally figure out what the route looks like. But it doesn't let you zoom out very far. Oh, look, we have the circular canal. That's what you get for randomly generated worlds, I guess. Oh, we ran out of gas. Well, there's a solution to that. But we're gonna have to spend some of our hard-earned pennies. There's no crouch, that's right. The annoying thing is you also can't really tell how much fuel you've added. I think we're probably full. I don't think this actually holds much, and it won't let me add more. There you go, and now we have paid money to refuel our engine. So, let's continue on our way. Yes, Celestial. Train. And an adorable little train, too. But now train with wood. Not just those tank cars that don't do anything yet. I'm sure they will. That's probably the next industry they're adding. If we go into the shop, you can see that there are... Nope, that wasn't right. 4 tank cars you can purchase. But currently, they don't haul anything. Yeah, the UI is kind of simplistic at the moment. Honestly, the only thing I don't really like about it is that everything on this side, everything is down to be off. But on this side, if you pull the brakes down, you put them into emergency. Mind you, this game is still in early access. Alright, let's stop ahead of the bridge to get the passengers offloaded. And just like that, we make more money. Now, let's run onto the bridge. Yes, it is better than the current Railroads Online UI. Honestly, I like the old UI, the one where it just had the big orange box on the bottom. I don't like the new one. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to build the freight depot. Let's go back in the third person for this. We'll put it over here. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. We're going to drop it into the ground. Maybe we'll put it that way so it's like a through depot. And now we need to connect our track to it. So we will demolish that. We'll put in a switch. And then we'll rebuild this track. Because we obviously can't sell our lumber up here. But we can sell it down here. I don't know if that actually looks good. Guess we'll have to run it to find out. Oh, and in case you were wondering what I was saying about the track spacing, take a quick look at this. What you have to do to make your double tracks line up. They have mentioned that they're going to do another type of turnout that will hopefully alleviate this. And also, you could just delete the one track you don't want, like that. So we'll do that for now. So let's head back, and we'll dump off this load of wood, and then we'll go load up some more. See, I almost put my train into emergency again. I agree. Thematically appropriate AI versus usable AI. There are ways they could have made the... I mean, the new UI is maybe not the worst it could possibly be. But yeah, it's not great. So, yeah, that's another lesson for Infinite Rails. They said to go forward. Is the hill just that steep? Come on, you. Come on. You can do it. And once again, we unload. Now, this place is not giving us a very good sale price for this. In fact, I think it's less than what we paid for it, which is always a risk. In this case, since we did get some money just for hauling it, we're going to take it. Because I don't feel like camping this stream just to wait and try and get a better price. We could wait a moment and see if it goes up or down. Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going? It is kind of nice that he's not, like, completely frozen in place. Okay, yeah, it actually went down more. Let's just get rid of this. So that's that. But let's go back to my other world real quick. And we will see if we can get this to... Or we'll see if I can demonstrate what it's like to have multiple industries on the map. It's also possible I'm just gonna have to like... Nope, there we go. Sometimes it doesn't like switching between games. And OBS is not liking my video settings. Alright, here we go. So, once again, we've got a whole bunch of wood that's stacked and ready to go, but obviously not enough space for that. Let's look at the map real quick. And if we zoom out, you'll notice I've actually connected to 3 different logging camps. And the reason being is that you might get a better price at one than the other. These ones are at like 243. The one we're at is sitting at 210. So obviously right now I'm going to get all my wood from here. But if that price were to go up and these two were to drop, I could sell it. Likewise, there's 2 sawmills. That one sells at 247. That's a logging camp I haven't connected to. That one sells at 248. Now, obviously, that could fluctuate. We're going to go to this one, partly because I keep going to this one, and partly because I've got a passenger platform over here set up. And we are making money on that. So, let's go. Into the night. Or possibly the day. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure what the sun's doing right now. We are trying to get an extra flat wagon and maybe another engine, and then we can do this multiplayer. I haven't played this game multiplayer. One of my understandings from talking to other people is that it's not one big pool of money that everyone shares. Everyone has their own pot of money, which you can exchange back and forth. So in theory, you could replicate something like the Railroads Online company system, and you could have like 4 people playing, and 2 of them are the money holders, and everyone else just sends their money to them. That could be an interesting way of doing this, is like competitive play. So those are the expensive camps. If I take a quick look at the shop, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of money, but I think that's because I bought a huge amount of lumber here last time. And we will continue to go this way. That is, of course, the freight depot. That's right near spawn. And you'll notice we're now in a new biome. We got a desert. I wonder if we'll get like a sand pit. That would be a good industry. I guess we'd need hoppers for it. And yeah, once again, awkward switch layout to try and get that track spacing right. It's kind of annoying. Obviously, like I've said, this game is still in development, so there will be future changes. They've talked about having a contract system where you can get a contract to haul logs or other cargo from one place to another, which would presumably be on top of whatever money you make. And also adding actual towns that you have to haul passengers between, as opposed to right now where you can just set them up and put them wherever. And there's our sawmill. Come around this part of the lake. And yeah, okay, I did buy a ton of lumber. Note how this platform is going to restrict your ability to buy and sell cargo. Obviously, I could have bought a little bit more lumber, but then I wouldn't be able to offload and sell my logs. We're going to go past it to the passenger station here. Here to Lakeside Station. And once again, cycle to Peoples. Now let's go deal with our cargo. Please stop. I'd rather you stop. And of course, while the crane is in motion, notice that you can't actually handle any other cargo. I can click on it all I want and hover over it all I want, but it won't let me actually do anything with it until the crane is stopped. That can be kind of strategic, I guess. It means you're going to want to stop with your car closest to what you want. So that's our sell price. Fortunately, we bought it pretty low, so that's actually kind of decent. So we'll just sell all this and maybe see if it pops up a little bit more, but I don't think it will. Last time it took forever for it just to get to 248. I don't know if you can hear my mouse wheel scrolling. It would be nice if you could use the arrow keys for this too, actually. Hey, it actually went up. Ta-da! So now let's go grab some of this cargo. And we'll load it up and sell it at the freight depot. And because that, the buy price is decent, but it's not great. Yeah, we'll just head out. Looking at our money, yeah, you can see we've made a lot of money on that, though. Oh, and I have built this line off to the south. This was also an attempt at finding more places to handle cargo, and it didn't really pan out. I do not know how the game's spawning system works, but it hasn't been spawning in my favor. The problem is I built one here, and then once again, it's one of the most expensive places on the map. Like, what gives? Why do you want to charge so much for this stuff? I can't even sell it at that price. Dang capitalists. And yeah, the other logging camp is somewhere over that way. We could build a line to it. For now, I'm not too worried because we've got the one we're at is at a good price. There also seems to be something of a weird bug where if you put this to 100%, it just holds the brake at what you're at. I don't know why, unless you go into emergency. Yeah. Decent sell price. Not fantastic, but it's better than what we paid for. And there we go, another 4.5 grand. And I do like those crane animations. Now, I mean, the next phase of this is really just going to be a whole lot of going back and forth. Because we already have a whole lot of logs we can move. We could go up to the other sawmill, I guess. And yeah, those ones are charging so much for their logs, and I don't know why it won't come down. They used to charge about as much as this place did. So let's go pick up another load and we'll head to the other sawmill just so I can show you what that line is like. Obviously, this might be more interesting if we had the faster engine or the Class 08 or bigger wagons, but so far, we can't afford those. It would be interesting to do this multiplayer where you had like 3 trains running around. Having them shown on the map would make that a bit easier. Even if you can't throw switches on the map, you can at least see where the other trains are. Oh, look, and there's another logging camp off in the distance. I think that's one I plopped down before I found this one. Yeah, it's also got pretty cheap. And then there's another freight depot over here, too. So if we wanted to, we could run a line over to that, and we could just sell logs straight to it. But for now, let's do the sawmill line. I do think I'd want a few more features in this game before I opened up, like, a multiplayer session. Because, like, it's kind of cool, but there's things that could be done to make it a little more fun. And yes, there's a reason I've got different sizes of things. I wasn't sure if there was a weight capacity or max capacity on these cars. And if you look in the shop, it says 12 tons. But that's not how much it can carry, that's how much the wagon itself weighs. So, yeah, a bit of a goofball there. We'll grab another load. What? I don't know what that did. Sometimes just saving resets things. And that's all you have to do. I do like that crane animation. If you want to talk about something else that's better than Railroads Online, the crane animation. And away we go. We're going to check out the other sawmill. And that'll also show you something else that could maybe use a little bit of improvement with this game, which is the places they put these industries. Because, I mean, this one's not too bad. You can see it's pretty well matched to the terrain, but the sawmill we're going to, not so much. So now we'll take that way. And you can tell we're going uphill. So hopefully we have the power for this. Oh, and our engine is starting to run low on fuel. I think I have some extra fuel if we need it. And of course we can always plop down a free fueling station. I'm sure it won't be free at some point. I mean, technically the gas itself isn't free, but plopping down the station is. Yeah, so here's where the other one is. And see this giant, definitely logging railroad style structure to get to it? And then notice how high everything is off the ground right now? Like that ramp? And the weird scenery cuts. Yeah, there's a lot to comment on here. Sell price is about the same, but notice how much more expensive it is to buy lumber here. In fact, it's more than what we can sell it for. I'm not going to call that a fault of the game because it varies enough. I have bought wood from here before and sold it at a profit. But yeah, it does seem pretty random. So we're not going to buy anything this time. We're just going to sell, and then we'll head back to the camp and grab a load to take to the other logging camp, other sawmill. My poor scroll wheel. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go up more. We'll just sell. Again, we're already selling for more than what we paid for. And now let's go back for another load. You can see the day also has changed. I think on this map, I've got it on a 2-hour cycle. Yeah. So you can set it to a 1-hour cycle, a fixed time, meaning that it'll just stay the same time whenever. Real time, set to your location. I don't live in Spanaway. And then there's a 1-hour, a 20-minute, a 10-minute, and a 2-hour cycle. The fixed time is going to be great if you're building, so you're not building at night. The real time is kind of an interesting way. I wonder how that works if you're doing multiplayer. Does everyone get their own time of day, or is it synced to the hosts? I don't know. Take a quick look. Yeah, so we are over halfway, so we can buy another engine if we want. I'd kind of rather not. I kind of want the Class 08. It's not as fast, but it's got a lot more power. And also, I have a model of a Class 08 now. One of my friends gave me a 00 gauge model of a Class 08, so I'm now a fan. If said friend is watching right now, hi! If not, you'll watch it later. Hi! Okay, we are flying. That hill was steeper than I thought. It is so hard to tell how steep a hill in this game is. And also the grades. Or not the grades, the curve radii. There's not really a way to do it. It has a weird way of telling you what your track angle is. And no real way to tell what your curve radius is. And then there's, of course, the 200-meter length limit for building track. I think Railroads Online either has or had that limitation. I definitely remember there was a limit to how long you could make your track splines. I just don't remember what it was. And I suppose the reason we keep talking about Railroads Online in context of this game is that they're kind of in the same genre. Oh, here's a map, build your railroad, haul stuff, make money. I can't really fairly say that one is better than the other because, you know, this one's still being developed. I feel like the plan for it is better than what Railroads Online is at right now, although I also haven't played it since a while. And we're not going to bother with the passengers because we didn't offload them, so we wouldn't get any money for them. We're just going to come in and load up again. That crane animation is so cool. Just for fun, let's put down another warehouse. Ta-da! That's another new building that got added. So now we grab those logs. And we head off again. And this time I think we're going to have to find a way to build an engine spur. Probably over by the freight depot, we'll put in a little spur and service our engine. One thing I kind of want to do now, I might do this after the stream ends, you can find some pre-made maps. I think there's 2 of them in the base game, but those were made before the industry update. So I'm curious, if you start a game with one of those maps, will it still try and spawn industries, or will you have to place them yourselves? Either way, it could be fun to like pull one of those open and then place industries nearby to service with the built-up infrastructure. Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, I am working on another video right now. I was editing it. It's going to be a little shorty one, another one from Denmark, or actually in this case, Sweden. I went to a little museum in Angelholm, Sweden. Angelholm? I'm not sure how the little dots on top affect it. The Jan Vagens Museum in Angelholm. Angelholm. Not a very long video. It's going to be like 8-9 minutes long. Wasn't a huge museum either. But it was kind of cool. So, it gets a video. After that, I will probably shift to my chase of McLeod River Railroad 25. Or McLeod Railroad 25. It used to have the river in it, now it doesn't. It is so cool how the map automatically generates something and it's random each time. A little more power. Yeah, we might build like a town or something here. Put an engine facility over here. See, this got demoed out from the first time I tried building. Yeah, I think I can put a turntable right there. Like a yard in here. Little yard. Let's drop this off and then we'll come back and do it, because we're not going very far. And then if we want to, we can go try and find the sawmill off to our left. Right? To our right. Or the logging camp. Still is rock bottom prices. But it looks like the price of buying wood has gone up from when I was doing all the buying, so... Oh, well, now it just dropped again. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the uber random economy. That said, there is an Infinite Rails Discord. I don't have a link for it, but you can find it. And so if you have any thoughts on the game, you could just go tell them yourself. Don't make me do it. This time we'll drop off the cargo first. I really ought to remember that I can just, like, cheat my way out of that view. Yeah, please give us the option to use keys for this. Let's wait and see what the price does. Yeah, it went down a little bit. And that went up a little bit. Go figure. Okay, passengers. And then we'll load up and then we'll go build a yard. It's not going to serve much purpose at the moment, but it'll look nice. And there we go. With this engine, you really do need to wait till the brakes are all the way released before it moves. So we'll just grab this one. Grab the end ones. Well, no. We'll grab these ones. Could have grabbed the other one since we were coming this way. And now we'll save, and let's go build a yard. And I know I was looking at this side of the track, but we're going to put on the other side. Thus saith me. Let's go... Do we have a cross piece? We do have a cross piece. Let's go one cross piece. We'll do the right turnout. We're going to do another right. Oh, but we want the outside. Turntable. Oh, that's right. It doesn't... You have to, like, put down the table and then connect your track to it. Forgot about that. Put it right next to the freight depot. And then we can put our fuel depot here. We're not going to make it a huge yard. I think just that many tracks. Now a left. And a left. And we'll rebuild the main line. Maybe I should have put it on the other side. Or maybe I just need to like rearrange these tracks at some point. In case we ever extend this double track. Did that? Yeah, okay. Switching lead-ish. Don't know why I keep running back and forth. I can do this in third person. And there we go. A dirt simple yard. And if we ever decide we want to go over to this sawmill or logging camp over here, wherever it is, that one, we can do so. How easy is that going to be, actually? Kind of tucked it in a weird spot. Looks like you would just come down this way. Maybe put in a Y here. Yeah. All right, let's drop off these. We'll drop off the lumber. We'll head back to the camp, and then I will probably just end the stream there. Keep it kind of short. There's not a whole lot to show off, but what there is to show off is kind of important. Because once again, now that they've got this, if they want to, they can add a ton more. It's easy to add industries with the same format. Oh, we should probably go fuel our engine, huh? Might need to turn it around to do that. I think I put the depot on the wrong side. I can't remember. Have I showed you how turntables work? I don't think so, so we'll show it off. Dump the train air. don't even have to get in the cab to do the zoom out thing. Oh, I do need to actually release the brakes. And yeah, we could probably get the hose over there. It's just going to phase through the engine and look weird. But you know what? Let's turn the thing around. The handbrake on this isn't very powerful. I forgot about that. So now we need to hop off into here. So how this one works, all of these tracks are at 15-degree intervals. And this tells you what your alignment is, just as long as you know which track you started with. At some point, it'll tell you like which ones you're on, which ones you're trying to get to, and where you can and can't go. So like you can turn these off. So what we want to do... Wait, no. We want to turn 180 degrees. It's not very fast. I will warn you that. Oh, and it's got the little red lights that come on. How cool is that? I guess while we're waiting for that, what we can do... Let's just build a couple of tracks off, and that way we can stick engines on them later. And one overrun track. That is actually kind of fun to watch. But the turntable does not seem to show up on the map. I just noticed that. Here, let me get this started and I'll show you. See? No turntable. Interesting. At least this thing fills up pretty quick. And also pretty cheap. Okay. Back on. You can see our player on the front. There's supposed to be a customization for it coming at some point, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, if we get additional cars, we'll spawn them there so we can pick them up. Well, and I did the 100% brake thing again. Ah. Alright. With no sort of derailments in the game, the speed at which you couple is kind of insignificant. Bonk. Okay. We could also just hook these back in. I'm told it doesn't really matter. Oh, there we go. Brake test. Dump it. What we might do is have, like, if I get another person, we'll have one person running passengers and one running freight, and we can see who makes the most money in the same amount of time. That would actually be kind of fun. I just, you know, need to find someone I want to play with. So. Yeah, that's a pretty decent price. Let's watch and see if it goes up or down. And once again, how you doing, buddy? Staring right into your soul, but at least he's not frozen in place. Okay, it didn't change by much. I'm not too worried. But yeah, that sell price for wood is horrible. How are we at money-wise? Okay, we can't quite afford another flat car. I think one more round trip ought to do it. Oh, and I guess I should probably change my lights now that I've turned around. I want my front whites and my rear reds. Oh, and I've got high beams. I didn't realize I had high beams. Oh, I guess that's the top light. That could be fun for multiplayer sessions where you care about whether or not you're going to blind the next train. I wouldn't recommend it yet, but I think once they add, like, a little more functionality, some more industries, maybe, like, actual towns, I could see Con and Hyce having a lot of fun on this game. What do you think? I can't remember if I've shown off how to buy stuff either. So let's drop off these passengers, and if we have enough, we'll do that. We might not. We do not. Okay, we're gonna have to make one more load with the logs. Which is convenient because that's all we've got left. Price is still pretty good though. And if we compare it to the other, yeah, the other places are still charging through the nose. I really don't know how the economy works here. 6.5 tons seems to be the most you can carry in one go. At least as far as I can tell. So some sawdust around, maybe. Alright. And we highball. Might just keep this as the streaming world. The other two weren't very good. And we come through the freight depot. Past the very empty yard. If we needed to, we could add more tracks on this side, I guess. Might also be fun to save it in case that we get another industry that could squeeze in there. Alright, we'll dump off the logs. Listen to that brake squeal. I guess we can just dump them right here. And yeah, it's holding that sell price. I have to wonder if maybe there's like a game stabilization patch that they didn't mention to stabilize the economy a bit. And now we scroll. And scroll. And the price is changing while we're scrolling. You know what? Let's... how much can we... We can afford to buy about 3 grand. Let's buy more logs. Or more planks. At that price... Just get one set for now. Yeah. And now let's go drop off our passengers. Oh, the price got even better. Sheesh. I did suggest in the Discord that the prices should maybe fluctuate based off how much supply-demand there is. So, like, if you bring logs to a sawmill, it'll charge you a bit less each time you bring them until it burns to its inventory. But if you don't haul the lumber away for a bit, the prices will go up because there's too much. And they need to get rid of it. So now, if we pop to the shop, we just... Nope. We just select what we want, and we hit order. And if we go to our inventory, we now have a platform car there. We're going to run over to the yard real quick and plop that down, and then we can go pick it up on our next pass through. There we go. We don't have any more. That took a while, but now it should go a little faster. So there you have it. That's the update to Infinite Rails in a nutshell. Thank you all for watching. Can't remember if there's a photo mode. I want to say there is. Supply cam. There's a scaling tool. Oh, there's a toggle UI, toggle info panel, and compass. So that's F11, F1, F4. So I guess that's... Aha! And now I can do photos. Right. So. I wish I remembered that before. Alright, well, we're going to call it there. So thank you all for watching. There will not be a stream next weekend because I will be at a train show up in Linden, Washington, near the Canadian border. So it'll be a while, but we will be back at some point. Thank you all for watching. Take care.